Hello again, I'm Sandra and I'm back with more business news. New managers of ECG, the Power Distribution Services Ghana Limited, PDS, says it will be employing high-level technology to deal with issues of illegal connection in the country. Spokesperson of PDS, Fred Asuman, told Joy Business's outfit, among several other measures, will enforce the installation of meters on electricity poles for a more robust measuring system to check consumption levels.
One major issue that ECG as a company was facing has to do with illegal connection. They struggled with it, they battled to get the systems right. So as a new management, what are you going to do differently to solve illegal connection issues in the country?
Well, illegal connections are a very big problem for distribution utilities worldwide. And there are what we call standard interventions using technology that can address illegal connections. But it takes time to bring those into place. And one of the interesting solutions for illegal connections, for instance, in the domestic consumer space, is to ensure that all meters are now installed on the pole. In that respect, we as a distribution utility can measure the amount of electricity that is coming into your house through the pole. So if there's a difference between that and the meter reading, then clearly you have bypassed the system.
Are these meters built purposely to be able to stand the weather condition that we have, so that when we place them outside, it doesn't come as a cost replacing them and repairing them?
Well, first of all, let me say that the attrition rate of meters is actually quite interesting. Every year, somehow, about 10% of meters, for whatever reason, go faulty. So we will ensure that we install meters that, are rain, weather, wind, whatever proof, so they don't go faulty easily. And those meters are available. These days, you may find that they are what we call micrometers, which are a smaller footprint, but perform the same job as the bigger meters. And those are easier to install and far more robust than some of the ones that we have today.
The issue of insiders helping with these illegal connections, that employees, people who are in this illegal connection business, how do you ensure that the crop of people you work with have the integrity to be able to protect the company?
There are two ways to deal with it. First of all, we will try to rearrange staff and contractors who will be working for PDC, for them to understand that there will be very severe penalties for partaking in any illegal activity. Secondly, we'll bring technological solutions that allows us to identify every single meter location through a GPS GIS kind of system. And then thirdly, we'll have more robust measuring systems that allows us to measure the amount of electricity that we are taking out from substations into a particular node and see how much is being measured. That disparity always will tell us that there's something not right.
Government institution owing power distributors huge sums of money. Last time we checked, about 2.2 billion cedis. And so having to deal with governments who are stakeholders themselves and forcing them or ensuring that they pay, how do you deal with this situation of huge debt coming from the public sector?
Well, the old debts that exist are not within our line of sight. We are leasing the assets of the distribution utility for a period of 20 years without the liabilities. But clearly, going forward, we have an arrangement for government to ensure that payment for services used by government institutions are done promptly. And we're also trying to negotiate to ensure that most of these government institutions will install prepaid and postpaid meters.
If they don't, what will you do?
Well, clearly, the answer to that is quite simple. If you don't pay your bill, we'll cut the line.
That's all for business with me, Sandra Esinamafene. Do have a great weekend, but for more news, do log on to our website, myjoyline.com/business. My name is Sandra Esinamafene once again, and have a great evening.